I'm going to be trying to make $10,000 in Schedule 1 as fast as possible, but if I'm caught by the police, the challenge is over. You see, Schedule 1 is a drug dealing game where you build a massive empire, but I've always been wondering how easy it is to build an empire like Walter White. So today, I'm going to be trying to make $10,000 as fast as possible, and we'll see how many days it takes. Now, we started off the challenge in the prologue. I started out by completing the weed making tutorial and then speaking to Uncle Nelson before going into town to make some of my first deals. After making 3 deals with the people in town and running from the police, I went back to the ranch. After my Uncle Nelson gets caught by the police, I end up escaping and ending the prologue. And overall, I've earned a total of $270. Now, after completing the prologue, I created the closest looking character to Brad Pitt in Fight Club, and then made it to the starting city of the game, Island Point, which is where I'll be making my drug empire. Now, because at the moment I've started from absolute nothing, I need to set up and complete some quests in the actual game story so I can progress to the point where I can actually earn some money. So days 2 and 3 were pretty much all spent just setting up the business, but now everything was set up, it was time for the money to start coming in. After putting my product OG Kush on the market and upping the price for it so I could make more money, it was only a few minutes before the first deal came in. The first person to ask for some Kush was Austin Steiner, who had requested 2 OG Kush for $120, so I accepted and went to go get my money. The next person to hit me up was Carl Cooley, who requested 3 OG Kush for $185. I was about to sell it for more until I realized the deal he gave for me was actually really good, so I didn't bother and just got my money from him. The third person to ask for a deal was Kathy Henderson, who offered 2 OG Kush for $115, which I gave out. Now after this, I'd save up $800 so I could afford a better place, and at the end of today, I made a total of $690. Now this day I spent giving out free samples and also doing some deals too, and at the end of the day, I almost got caught selling drugs right in front of the police like an absolute idiot. But after that close call, I decided to rest up, and after day 5, my total amount of money was $1,960, which is a crazy jump for the $690 I had yesterday. Now on this day, I tried to reach a friendly status with either Chloe, Ludwig, or Beth so that they could recommend me to a dealer, which would allow me to give him the product and hopefully make us money even faster. I also did make a few deals today and almost got caught by the police again for once again selling right in front of them like an absolute buffoon. But after that intense encounter, I managed to reach a friendly status with Ludwig, which meant I could finally get a deal. But I would get the deal tomorrow because I went to sleep. At the end of day 6, our total is $2,516, which is a quarter of our way through. On the morning of day 7, it was time to get my dealer Benji, and after racking up enough money from some of my deals, I paid him $500, and now he was my dealer. After unlocking this, I gave literally all of the weed to Benji, and just hoped he'd take care of most things while I'm expanding the business. The next thing I needed to do was to create a new weed formula, so I got some donuts, and tomorrow I would fuse them with the OG Kush to create some really good product. After finishing some deals, I went to bed, and overall, on day 7, I had earned a total of $3,041. Today, I started making my new donut formula, which was called Aspen Death, and then of course, inflating it to the moon so that I could get some big money. Honestly, after that, I didn't actually do that much on day 8 other than some deals, and once again getting absolutely violated by the police. And overall, a total amount of money is $4,158. Now day 9 was a pretty big day for me because I managed to get multiple deals with tons of people while also trying to find some more potential customers. And even my dealer Benji was making absolute bank for me. At the start of today, I started with $4,158, and at the end of today, I had a whopping $6,181. God damn, which is exactly what we need here. Today, I went around and tried to introduce more people to the business, which was working pretty well for me, although sales were not looking that great today. The only money I got was pretty much from Benji. Anyways, I knew I could finish the challenge in a few good days, and after day 10, my overall amount was $6,471. Day 11 was also a pretty quiet day, as my only deal was one $290 deal from Geraldine Boone, and my dealer actually for some reason forgot that his job was to deal. The good thing was from here on out, things would get much better for the business. On day 12, I started out amazingly by getting a huge amount of money from Benji, which made me feel more confident as there was only about $1,500 between me and completing the challenge. I also managed to get tons of deals done today and grow more and more weed, which was just amazing. After day 12, I had a total of $8,578. Today, I aimed to finish the challenge, and I made some absolute moolah today. Not only did Benji get the money for me, but I went around getting tons of deals. After wandering around town and expanding my business, the amount of money I made was $1,683, which was just enough to get me $10,000, and my overall amount was $10,261, which let me finally beat the challenge. Overall, to beat this challenge, it took a total of 13 days. days, which is honestly longer than I thought, but hey, at least we still managed to start building an empire that will one day take over Walter White's. Either way though, thanks for watching, and have a good one.